Check, check, check. Check, check, mic check. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. As we are pouring in, hold on, let's see if the stream is live. Let's get a little confirmation going. Oh my goodness, oh, I have the configuration up in the background. Let's get a little confirmation going in the chat. Are we live? Are you reading me? Testing out there. Wild internet world. Good morning if you are here. Early welcome to Friday Morning Magic. The most fun you can have on a live stream on this channel on Friday mornings on the entire internet. You see the way I did that? See that? It's a little marketing tip for those of you out there, for those of you that have a vast experience in marketing, quite like I do. It's a little tip, a little trickeroony for you. Good morning. If you're here in the chat, let me know you are here. Let's test the chat widgets. Let's get things going, and let's kick off the stream. I'm going to have my inaugural sip. First coffee sip. First coffee sip this morning as we get started. Ready? Here we go. Oh, gosh. Each and every one of you out there, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. If you're here, let me know you're in the chat as we start firing things off, as we fire up the stream. Normally we did a whole, like, oh, get started, don't get started, like, stream starting soon, and we're not doing that. We're just getting right into it. We are going to pop this stream off right away for a little while and see how that goes. And if we have a stream starting soon, it might be like, 30 seconds. I might change that. Deceptang, good freaking morning. Welcome to Friday Morning Magic. We have a ton of stuff to talk about. It is Wilds of Eldraine. Phew. I need to get a soundboard. It is Wilds of Eldraine official release day. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilds of Eldraine is officially dropped. I know when it comes to Magic the Gathering, it felt like it was dropped last week, but it's actually dropped this week. Wilds of Eldraine hits shelves technically officially today. So we have every single sold listing of draft set and collector from TCG Player accounted for when it comes to the pre-release, the pre-sale of this set, and I'm excited to see how the set shaped out. A couple of housekeeping things real quick before we get started. Today's stream is brought to you by MTG Gaming Bob, Nick, and Ralph the Gnome, the most recent people to join the channel membership or donate to the stream, helping to buy a new camera because the camera recently overheated. Not something I really like to admit into the camera that it overheated. Let's not talk about the fact that the camera overheated. I am pulling up the chat as I have with you guys. We got sales data to talk about. We want to look at a possible Decapit Gang. Got it. Decapit Gang. Thank you for the correction. Good morning, people who are filtering in, who are used to the normal couple minutes of, oh, stream starting soon. We're not doing that anymore. We're popping off right away from here on out. If you're here in the stream this morning, let me know. Say hello. And I have a Starbucks life hack for you guys out there. So I got a little day-old Starbucks life hack for everyone out there. MTG Captain, good morning. Rob, hello, good freaking morning. Struggling on whether or not to go to GameStop for Lorcana. Ooh, okay. I mean, it's risky. Maybe call ahead, find out if they have any. Lorcana is popping off. If you're in the chat this morning, again, let me know you're here. I know we got a lot of familiar faces that we've seen so far, and I have enjoyed the number of live streams on this channel has gone up, and it's because of you guys. The conversations on the live stream, the chat, the interaction, hanging out has become so much fun. It's just become a blast, and I can't stop doing it. I just keep hitting the go live button more than I should. This week we did a Lorcana live stream talking about Lorcana prices. There's the Lorcana video. This week we did some Wilds of Eldraine data video. We did a video that I'm extremely proud of. I had a conversation about the changing of trading card games. It's something we're going to talk about here today for sure. It's going to be a wild ride of a stream this morning. Decapit Gang said, I've heard some people have been lining up for 4 hours now at some locations. That's crazy. Some of the Lorcana stuff is just Guys, the numbers for the Lorcana set it's insane. But let's talk Wilds of Eldraine. For the people that are here early, the people that want to get started, the people that are having themselves a wonderful Friday, much like Devin, Mr. Devin Mychan. Good freaking morning. Let's talk some Wilds of Eldraine. So let's pop over. Let's see if I have this configured correctly. Last minute stream is not scuffed. Let's go. I don't even look. I even had the right one pulled up. I got Lorcana here, but nope. Wilds of Eldraine. What we have here is the visual representation of every single sold listing of sealed product on TCG Player. This project, I'm just going to take a moment and mention this project has been so much fun. I have had so much fun and learned so much about Magic the Gathering products, how we buy them, how they sell, what products we want, what we don't want, all because we are capturing the data from TCG Player. So this has been just extremely rewarding, and I hope you guys are having as much fun with this as I am. But when it comes to the specifics of Wilds of Eldraine, the most recent standard Magic the Gathering release, we are back to normalcy, ladies and gentlemen. We have returned to the normal Magic the Gathering set practices that we have come to know and love. The set booster box remains king. And I'm going to take a second, and I don't do this often. I'm going to take a little credit here. You add a little credit to the well, you add a little credence to the community, and then every once in a while you take a little bit of credit. I'm going to take a little bit of credit here. The set booster box being the place where in every pack you're getting an Enchanting Tales. You got a shot at the Walking Dead secret lair in the list, reskinned as actual Magic cards. And the Eldraine flavor driving consumers to buy this product means this box was always going to be a great box for us, for the people on this side of the counter, for the people who love and want to play Magic the Gathering. This was always going to be a box for us. If you have bought a Wilds of Eldraine draft set or collector, or any Wilds of Eldraine product, let me know your experience. But I do believe that those factors just lean into this box being so good. And we see it reflected in the sales data, as the set booster box makes up for well over 50% of every single box that flows out of TCG Player. So when it comes to draft set and collector, when people go to TCG Player and click buy, almost 58% of the time, it's a set booster box. But the collector booster box is not like, it's not like nothing. It's not like pointless. It's got 1,315 sales. It accounts for 32% of all of the boxes sold from TCG Player, and it does account for almost 50% of the money we have spent on the product, which to me just shows the premium on this collector booster box is working for Wizards of the Coast. This number down here, the fact that we're 47% of every dollar spent on TCG Player when it comes to these products for Wilds of Eldraine has been spent on a collector booster box, just again goes to show me like, hey, Wizards of the Coast is going to put a lot of attention into this. Why? Guess what? It's a big moneymaker. Decapit Gang said, sorry, yes, Wilds bought a collector box. Dude, that is awesome. Rob said, I'm thinking about grabbing a set box of Eldraine. I'm thinking of cracking one myself as well. Decapit Gang got Confetti Karmic Justice. Now we'll talk about the confetti stuff soon. Let me know, did you like the confetti foil? That's something to be talked about soon. And then finally, bringing up the rear as far as both money spent and total number of sales is the draft booster box. Now, we've said this a lot on this channel. The draft booster box is a weird booster box, especially when it comes to buying on TCG Player. Now, I hypothesized that the draft booster box for something like Wilds of Eldraine would do better for the same reason the set booster box did well, but an additional little sprinkle on top. When you play your draft booster box, and to Wizards' credit, the draft booster box is exactly for that. There's not a whole lot of other purposes for that box. It's just for playing Magic. You get an opportunity to cast things like Rhystic Study, Parallel Lives, and Doubling Season not in Commander. And communities have really taken to that around at least the United States. They play groups that I am aware of, and the game stores that I'm in communications with, even channel sponsor MinMax Games. You can see their sleeves up here. If you want any Magic product, use minmaxgames.com and check them out. But they have noted that people are just excited to like play these cards in a one-on-one in a different Magic setting. It has been a lot of fun for people, as you know, those cards come in the draft pack and they're draftable. So this product is a lot of fun, but I want to take our attention down to the recent addition to the sales data spreadsheet, and that is the sales trends. Now, what I did with this is when I update the data, I take the most recent 7 days. That means if I updated it this morning, which I did, then I take the last 7 days, not including today. And the reason I do that is because, hey, when you update data on a given day, there are going to be more sales on that day, right? So we don't want to account for a day that's 10, 20, or even 75% complete. We want to get everything that has fully finished, every day that has closed. So that's what we do here. So as we can see, from 9/7 to 8/31, we see this trend with Wilds of Eldraine. And we see this with most Magic sets, but it has been exasperated when it comes to Wilds. The ups, downs, and all arounds of Wilds of Eldraine have been far more drastic. Looking at set booster boxes, as we see in this graph in the bottom right middle here, we are capping out around 125 sales in a given day. So on a given day on TCG Player, 125 boxes going out the door, like, that's a good number of boxes moving. That's a positive experience. But then we see a pretty drastic dip down to the 50 box range, and that's a wide swing. That's not something that really, to me, screams stability. And I think what this is, as I've said before, I think the community is trying to figure out what we want to do with standard Magic the Gathering product. It's in a weird spot, and it's, you like it or you love it, whatever it might be, but it's in a weird spot. And then you look at the total number of boxes, and the total number of boxes, no surprise there, go the way the set boxes go, with the ups and downs, starting high, having a little bit of a dip in the middle, and then getting a bit of a resurgence as we race towards release day. Now, release day is a big seller, right? Release day is a big seller for Magic the Gathering products, so I'll be excited to see kind of how that shapes out as the day goes on. Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews, good morning, consistent member of the Hometown TCG live streams these days. See you around the comment section and the chat all the time. Cheers to each and every one of you, and you, Thrifty, for hanging out. Some of this information is not what I would have expected, if I was going to be completely honest. But this is where things get a little bit wild. Wilds of no pun intended, but Wilds of Eldraine has sold about 4,000 boxes on TCG Player as far as release go. And channel members know, if you're a member of this channel, you know you got a channel member exclusive video comparing Wilds of Eldraine pre-sale to other sets and how those have done. And Wilds of Eldraine is, spoiler alert for that video, but it is harsh and hardly lagging behind. And we talked in a video on this channel this week, is this because the real world is coming back around? Are there other factors at play? Or if you want to get out the FUD and go to, and this is a for fun topic, I don't think this is what's going on, but let's have the for fun conversation. Is it because of Disney Lorcana? Is Disney Lorcana the game that is currently right now outselling Wilds of Eldraine? Is this the reason that Wilds of Eldraine sales are lagging behind? I don't think so. I don't think that's fair. Magic has 30 years of history and millions of players. I think this is just a Magic set that comes at a weird time and is hitting the community in a unique way. I think we have returned to the game store. We are buying boxes of standard sets in person, because who does a standard set speak to? The ingrained enthusiast. It doesn't really have a home outside of that. You have to be a pretty hardcore Magic fan. This ain't Lord of the Rings. This ain't Doctor Who. This ain't Commander Masters. This is just your average run-of-the-mill release. So you better be a big fan if you're going to buy something like this. So I think with that, you have a much smaller audience. You couple that with the fact that, we are in a weird time on the planet. I made a video about that. Again, make sure you check it out. But I think there's a lot more factors here. But the really fun angle to take, the way more exciting angle to take here is, hold on, let's update this, because this data was updated this morning. The really fun angle to take here is that a Disney Lorcana is the reason that Wilds of Eldraine is not selling. If anybody clips that and puts that to my name, I will vehemently deny it, because we have talked about how that's a joke. But this product, listen, compared to Wilds of Eldraine, it is putting up numbers. Wilds of Eldraine, as we said, is lagging behind in the total number of boxes sold department, and I think that's probably one of the most fair metrics of comparison when it comes to some of these games. So let's see what you guys think about that take. And I'm gonna end this poll. If you're here and you're on the stream, I'm closing the poll, but if you haven't liked the stream yet, you could click that like button and share this. If you go to a Facebook group, a Discord group, wherever you guys hang out and communicate with about your different favorite trading card games, make sure you share this stream as we help and try to grow the community. But I gotta start a poll for you guys. I gotta know. I did my fun part. I had fun. I want to know, is Wilds of Eldraine being choked out by Lorcana? I'm starting this poll, and if you're in this chat, if you're in this community, I need an answer for what you think on this one. Your name's not going to be put to anything, unlike me, who's absolutely going to get roasted for everything. Stupid Elf says, what up, Josh? What up, Stupid Elf? Good morning. Welcome to Friday Morning Magic. Decapit Gang said, I like confetti due to the higher value, but I've blown away from all the variation creep over the couple of years. Yes, we're going to talk about the confetti foils today because they are wildly impactful when it comes to Wilds of Eldraine. And listen to other games. You got your sorcery, you got your Lorcana. You got these games that are saying, hey, we don't have to have all these crazy variants and stuff like that. We're going to see how that goes. MTG Captain said, Wilds of Eldraine is not for me. MTG Captain, expand on that. Tell me why Wilds of Eldraine is not for you. Lorcana is way too simple as intended as a game for non-TCG families and children. 100%. 100%. Can only speak for my friend group. We've got quite a few Lord of the Rings boxes and participating in Commander Masters, draft events. More so just a wallet issue at this very moment. We'll buy singles though. Let's go. I can understand that. I can see Char40412. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the subscription. Antonio Castillo, welcome to the community. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry if I missed that one as it popped up. Let's talk about wallet fatigue. So this is the first time that we very well could be seeing a large amount of wallet fatigue from our Magic the Gathering community. I think we have an opportunity to finally experience what we've been complaining about for years. And let's harken back to the inception of the secret layer and really its popularization. As the secret layer becomes more and more popular and people want this product and people are buying them for the crazy variants and it really being one of the few limited products Magic the Gathering still has left, well, guess what? We postulated there would be wallet fatigue. We screamed into cameras at microphones and at our local game store. We cannot keep up, and we were wrong. Let's call it what it is. We were 100% incorrect. False. Not true. We kept spending money, sales kept going up, and we kept buying Magic the Gathering products. But now, on the back of what might be the most popular set of all time, as Peyton pointed out, their friends, bought a bunch of Lord of the Rings, and then followed that up with Commander Masters, a set that, albeit wasn't wildly popular, sold a good number of boxes and commanded an extremely high price point. We could find ourselves in a world where we are seeing the first real effects of wallet fatigue, and maybe not an impossibility, but again, with all the factors going on in the real world, people just choosing not to buy this product, saying what Wizards of the Coast has prompted us to say for the better part of a year now. This set is not for me. This is a standard product release. I don't play paper standard. I can pick up a couple singles and move on with my life. I don't feel like I am missing out on anything. Plus, I know there's major Magic releases coming around the corner, and I might be saving up for that. So this becomes a wonderful and wild time to just step back and wonder why this is changing and how we interact with these trading card games and why these communities are changing so much. And this could be one of the most interesting times in at least my trading card game life. Char, to answer the Lorcana question, says, I think Lorcana has pulled some attention away. So much focus is on Lorcana at the moment, though, so this subdued release is getting overlooked. Maybe. And Lorcana has a surprising number of Magic fans as a crossover audience. I mean, obviously every new TCG does, because when you build a new TCG, you're trying to build from an existing community, and hey, Magic's a major one to pull from 100%, but me, oh my, I don't know if it's enough. Like, Lorcana's making waves, but I don't know if they're enough to affect Big Daddy Wizards of the Coast. Decapit Gang says, honestly, bought Wilds Collectors because Lorcana was not available in the LGS. I've been playing MTG since 94. You are outplaying me. You are. It's very rare that someone in the stream is outplaying me. Cheers to you. However, wife likes Lorcana. That Blaze. I think there's Blaze in my comment section from a couple videos as well. Our wives like Lorcana. That's so huge. That's so massive. I'm waiting for Commander Masters to be on discount on my LGS. Man, can you imagine my video? Okay, everyone just close our eyes and imagine my video when Commander Masters goes discount on Amazon. Oh, that's going to be a wild day. CM says, Wilds of Eldraine and Enchanting Tales are great and fun, but we'd rather see the actual set be stronger. Set feels low in power level. I think that's intentional, CM. I think they're trying to really pull back a bit of that power level and really retake standards. Right now, I mean, they talked about recapping the paper standard universe and bringing that back around for people to participate in, but standard right now is just, it's just mid-range good pile, right? It's all the best cards in mid-range. I believe I could see them, as they said when they talked about Wilds of Eldraine and the design, really pulling back the power level by focusing on niche like archetypes and play styles, and maybe not tribal, I don't know, elf decks and things like that. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Someone help me. It's not tribal anymore. Someone help me. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Taffy Coin says, Wild's a great product, but they shot themselves in the foot releasing it so soon after Commander Masters. Too many sets in close succession. Also, like, listen, I agree, Taffy. We are on point with that. And then Lord of the Rings coming out. This is Doctor Who, something got to give eventually. I do think Wilds of Eldraine is going to give. And hey, March of the Machine leading up to this stuff did better than I thought it would as far as sales are concerned. And maybe that just goes to show that we don't really have the foresight to plan for some of this stuff. I mean, here, if we pull up, let's give a little special treat. Let's go back to March of the Machine. This sales data hasn't been updated for a couple days because I haven't had a need to kind of update this one. But looking at March of the Machine, I mean, March of the Machine pre-sale was way more successful. It sold way more collector boxes. Like, collector boxes versus set boxes was a much cleaner and nicer balance. So, and then as this was being updated, like, March of the Machine was still just trickling out. So stuff like this is, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just don't have the foresight to, like, save our money for some of this. Thrifty Gamer says, boo, Lorcana. Like, are you one of the people, whenever I make a Lorcana video, I've always got someone in the comment section telling me, like this game is horrible, it's just flippers. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. CM Typal, thank you. They're leaning into, like, typal strategies and different, like, color identity strategies and things like this. Yes. Stupid else, yes, my wife and daughters do not like the TCGs. Now you're speaking my language, Stupid Elf. My wife plays Magic. That's awesome. That is awesome. Sharf 0412, my wife and daughter have enjoyed playing Lorcana. It's simple, easy to understand. Should make good gateway drug and MTG. God, I'm so glad I got on camera and made that like a take that I have, because I agree with you so hard that it's going to be a gateway into Magic the Gathering. Like, you're gonna play Lorcana for a couple years, then you're gonna go to your later middle school years, your high school, and you're gonna join a Magic club, and you're just gonna play Magic like forever. You're gonna be trapped like each and every one of those. Before you know, you're gonna have a YouTube channel and a wall of stuff behind you, and you're going to be living the wildest cardboard life that you could possibly imagine. So this is a super interesting little experience and a little experiment here. And let's see, we want to talk about the possible EV of this stuff. And you guys know, for those who know, this isn't a drama stream, but you know, let's be honest. This is a section. It's gonna get a little serious for just a moment. Just a little serious just for a moment. You guys know we've often used the tool Mox Alpha to check values and potential EV and look at the standard deviation, the swing. It's a wonderful tool, but it's a tool that frankly is meant for local game stores looking to buy boxes in mass and sell a bunch of product. And because of that, they went with a subscription model. And I was not able to afford the subscription model, I reached out to the Mox Alpha people and said, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for everything you've done, putting me on the landing page and everything, and all the partnerships with the channel, and like letting me see this data, give me the early access. I appreciate that. Good luck. Fair warning, your subscription is not for me. I'm not a game store. I don't make really any money outside of channel members, wherever you are. That pinned comment, if you want to click that comment and check that out, it's $5 a month, exclusive content, custom emotes, channel badges, fun things like that. I encourage you because it helps me buy a new camera. But I told them it was just kind of out of my price range. Say, hey, this is not for me. And they asked me about price range. They had a very open and honest dialogue about kind of what they were doing, who they were targeting, what they're doing, and then they gave me access to the platform and said, feel free to continue to use it to stream and look at the data and kind of have some fun. So big shout out to them. I really appreciate all of them. So thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. Because of that, we have a Mox Alpha instance pulled up, and we do want to check some and see if Wilds of Eldraine EV is on the site already. Let's take a look. Let's dig into this a little bit, shall we? I know. Let's get everything in frame so we can see. Like, listen, that's why you come to the stream is clearly for the live stream editing. This is the reason to come to a Hometown TCG. Like, all these other streams are so professional, and they get the job done, and they have a plan. We live stream edit as we go, because that is the way to do it. Benson says, hello there. Good morning. Dude, just checked my mana box, and it was all of my Wilds of Eldraine cards just tanked to price. Ooh, they're going down. We will look at singles. Let's look at possible EV, then we'll look at singing. Benson, hello. We're gonna have to hold them for another couple weeks just to see if they come back up. Maybe. So many factors affecting sales, but for me, it's so tempting to wait for the Amazon sale. Like, that is a factor in the world that we live in now. Let's see if we can't. I don't know if I didn't check this beforehand because this was going to be way more fun to do with each and every one of you. So they do have Wilds of Eldraine, and let's check the product. Wilds of Eldraine set booster box. Let's see. They don't have collector booster boxes up here yet. So let's check the set booster box, and this is an expected value calculator. Now, you can use this to anticipate kind of the value that's going to come out of your box to a degree. It's important to note, this is not a finite science. This is all about statistics and odds. This is not going to be like every box you open is going to give you this amount of value. This is just likely scenarios when it comes to opening boxes, and those scenarios change when you open boxes at larger and larger numbers. And we'll see that when we go over things like standard deviation for this product and so on. So Wilds of Eldraine set booster box has an EV after, or at least in the middle of, maybe after the tank, of $108. That is down about 17% as of 4 hours ago. And honestly, that's not bad. Like, to each and every one of you out there that are saying, like, oh my god, that's terrible, the box cost $117, and I feel like we have to do this. I feel like we have to do this every single week, every single time that we have a conversation about EV. We have to point out part of what you pay for is the box opening experience. You're never going to get 100%. So we have $108 and the set booster box price on TCG Player if we wanted to check that out. On TCG Player for Wilds of Eldraine, the Wilds of Eldraine set booster box is $117. Okay, so EV not terrible here, but we are seeing what's a pretty big standard deviation. Now what this means is as you open more the fewer boxes you open, the more chance you have for swinging this. This is essentially how wide of a range your values can swing in, and we see a percentage as high as 42%. We know that this box would be considered fairly top heavy. It's really based around the hits that you get, and it's not got, it's not just super packed with the $5, $6, and $7 cards that you're going to open out of every single pack. And let's take a look at some of the big winners from this product, and to no surprise, to nobody's surprise at all, the big winners are the Enchanting Tales enchantments. This is what's going to push this product. This is what's going to make this product continue to be fun to open in the near future. And this is the reason I think a lot of people are really enjoying playing limited. Not to say that's what's selling the set box, but just to say what these cards are doing. We see Rhystic Study, Doubling Season, Smothering Ties, Land Tax, Necro, Bitter Blossom. It is all, oh my god, okay. All right, so it is all about Enchanting Tales. Do we have, chat, oh no. The website, the website is moxalpha.com. Moxalpha.com. It's something we visit frequently on the channel. It has gone to a subscription model meant for local game stores. The subscription is extremely expensive. They were kind enough to grant me access so I can continue to talk about it with each and every one of you. But if you are a game store, again, I would consider something like this. I don't know what it does for your EV. I'm not a salesperson for them. I haven't talked about any of that. It's just I like numbers. Do we have V-Market, by the way, first person to throw me off on the stream, you win a prize. Someone does it every week. You win a prize. I have a question. I have a question, and I need it answered. So let's take a look at the results of the last poll. Is Lorcana causing Wilds of Eldraine not sell? I think all of you greatly agree with me. The reason we didn't have a big conversation about that one is I think that one is fairly understood. But this one, I gotta know, do we have a Strixhaven situation on our hands? I need a mod to make these polls for me. Do we have another Strixhaven on our hands? Louis is better and he's always right. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. I don't think Louis is better than me. I just don't think that's true. He is my friend. I think we are equals. I think we are equals. Back to the EV discussion. Wilds of Eldraine, $108 again as the EV for the box, but it is all based around these Enchanting Tale cards. And I think we could have possibly seen that coming. Let's go ahead and let's pull this up and let's go to TCG Player for Wilds of Eldraine. Let's just check out the set here and see what we can see when it comes to cards in the actual set. So we're going to avoid the Enchanting Tales slot for right now. We are going to live in a world where we are just talking about Wilds of Eldraine singles. We won't talk about Enchanting Tales. We're not going to talk about the Commander subsets. We're going to leave the list out of this. We're talking about just Wilds of Eldraine cards. And it's nice to see a little bit of top end here. Beseech the Mirror is a card that I know people are hyped for. Like, it's going to be great in Commander. Of course it is. But people are even trying to give this bad boy some run in Modern. And then the Cavalry is obviously going to keep a little bit of hype. But after that, I guess we have the Soul Cauldron. And then following that, we got a little bit of fall off here. And that's kind of surprising to see. Magic, again, normally does a good job of that $6 to $7 card in that window, but right here we're not really seeing a lot of love, and with it being early release, some of this might come down. Now, there's also the opportunity that things spike in play. You have a Ledger Shredder situation, a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, where something really picks up steam and actually, goes up in value, but that is much rarer than every other card of a release just coming down. Louis is the weakest from the group. George is the alpha. Louis is the man, but Josh is the king. Listen, this is not a Louis versus Josh stream. I love Louis. Louis is my homie in cardboard and has become one of my close friends. This will not be. I will not stand for a Louis bashing affair. This will not happen. Joshua is like an annoying little brother. That I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest in my family, man. Not cool. Rob, I personally like the new cards in Strixhaven a lot more. So that is another thing, too. Strixhaven tried a brand new mechanic with the lesson and learn mechanic, where Wilds of Eldraine is leaning back into the adventure mechanic. And yes, I know there's some new mechanics here, but the main mechanic here is the adventure mechanic, and it is on full display when you look at some of these cards. And I think we need to take a second and look at something like Virtue of Knowledge, and just like acknowledge. Can we just have a stream moment for a second? Stream moment for just a second. This art is beautiful. Like, some of the cards in the set they're just incredible. They look amazing. Magic, with sorcery coming out and Lorcana pulling at our heartstrings, everyone just says how great every other game's art is. Nobody gives them enough chance or enough credit. Nobody gives Wizards of the Coast enough credit, as far as I'm concerned. This double-sided fairy food token being $4. You guys think the fairy food can hold up? All right, Stupid L says, Thomas, you got it back. Are you guys still on the May the Zoo be with you cast infighting? Is that what's going on? I reluctantly agree there's a big possibility for the set to be carried by the enchantments. Josh, I think it's going to have to happen unless we see a lot of pop-off. I think it's going to have to happen. Dread Knight, the Golgari Adventure one. Okay, all right, I feel you. Stupid Elf says, well then I have to question your decision. And friends, listen, that's fair. That is fair enough. That is fair enough. We love all the May the Zoo be with you hosts. Like, listen, they're my family at this point. As much as, and sometimes you can't pick your family. CM, the mythic creatures are too specific to value outside the specific decks that want them. And CM, that's leaning into that design principle that we talked about. As they try to take back standard from mid-range good stuff piles, they want to lean into the typal strategies and the really like set defined narrow ways to play the cards, and I think that's going to add a lot of flavor. The problem is when you get one of those, it's extremely OP. Looking back, and oh god, are we gonna get old? Fine, you know what, let's get old. When you go back to something like Mirrodin, the original Mirrodin, you had Affinity, which was, listen, it was a plenty good, fine, self-contained and narrow design path, but it was so powerful that it just dominated everything. I think a better example is original Kamigawa. There was a Gifts Ungiven, Splice onto Arcane thing you could do, which was more niche but completely driven by the mechanics in the set, and was a really fun way to experience those cards and play Magic the Gathering. But god, did I just make myself old? I feel like I just made myself extremely old. Josh Smith's confirmed this is now a Louis versus Josh stream. Well, that's just not fair to Louis. Don't be mean. Louis versus Joshua, a fight of Lorcana versus sorcery. We're not gonna do you guys. No, I love Louis, but his goofy, but not his goofy ass faces on his videos. But come on, like, listen, we're playing the YouTube game. That's not fair. I don't know. Wilds of Eldraine singles are gonna be in a weird spot, but the one we want to look at is the Enchanting Tales series, right? We want to look Wilds of Eldraine, Enchanting Tales. These are not only what's driving the set, in my opinion, but what is 100% going to be remembered about the product. Yeah, Stupid Elves, you know what you did. You know what you did, Stupid Elf. That's your username for anyone who watches the stream back. I'm not just randomly calling a viewer, you stupid elf. Like, no, that's a username. These Enchanting Tales here are going to be what drives the set and what really brings us back around to this set. Now, I want to see, what do you guys think? Do we have a Strixhaven situation on our hands? Because I really do believe we're seeing a lot of Mystical Archive-like features coming out of here. But with that being said, the Mystical Archives took a dive. Let's call it what it is. Set took a dive. So, looking at you guys, 72% of you think we have a Mystical Archive situation on our hands. I actually believe that these are more iconic cards for it's very similar, but I believe they're more iconic cards for a more popular format. And I think what that's going to do is really drive people to want these for their commander decks. I mean, we just talked Commander Masters. Commander Masters is wildly expensive, but you can get a lot of the cards that you want for these commander decks in this subset. And, maybe as a little aside, this pushes the power level of the average commander pod just a little bit as cards become more accessible. Soos! Good morning. I think I'm going to do that every single time you join the stream, just because it is just a great way to start my day. So as far as the Enchanting Tales and like what I would want goes, I just know, and this is, I'm going to be a hater. Let me be a hater for 2 seconds. Let me be a hater for just 2 seconds. I don't like the Blood Moon. What do you guys want out of the Enchanting Tales set? I'd be okay. I like the Omniscience. The Omniscience is pretty. The anime one is even like, I don't like most of the anime art style. Okay, fine. I'm gonna hate twice in a row. This is you. Are you happy? Are you happy, chat? This is where we are. I hope you're happy. anime art style's not for me. Like, it's not something that speaks to me as much. It's not something that really I seek out or I enjoy as much as a lot of other people. So these cards don't necessarily, they don't like ring my bell and get me like, oh, I love that card. I want that card. I like the portrait cards. They weren't popular portrait cards in Commander Masters, as I always said when we did them on stream. It's the characters just like hanging out. I like those, like the idea of portrait cards, but the anime cards, I'll admit, definitely they're not my jam. Ristic Study. Thomas says he wants Ristic Study out of the set. Like, that could be good. The land, like, there are some anime art that's like, I guess I could be fine. The Bitter Blossom card's funny. Like, I like the Bitter Blossom card. Land Tax is fine. Like, I mean, is there a more superior doubling season than Goose Hydra? Tell me, is there a more superior doubling season than Goose Hydra? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Josh says it makes it feel kind of Secret Lair-ish, the anime art. Like, yeah, it kind of does. I could see that. Shara says, the Enchanting Tales cards are gorgeous. I'm alright if the value is not there because it gives me an excuse to keep getting them to my collection. That's another... Are you guys going to collect a whole set? Is this a time we're going to see people collecting a whole set of Enchanting Tales cards? Because, like, it's a collection to be proud of. It's a lot of cards you're going to play, and like, all collections are expensive, but as far as collections, it wouldn't be the most expensive thing you ever put in your binder for sure. The As Foretold one, I guess, is okay. Like, there's just no better doubling season than Goose Hydra's. Like, I'm stuck on this, and I know I'm stuck on this, but I'm just waiting for someone to disagree with me, because, spoiler alert, when you do, you're wrong. You're just wrong. You're wrong. And no, in this case, art is not subjective. I'm just being toxic and correct, and you're just wrong. Like, look at how great that is. Giant Goose Hydra. So I think the Enchanting Tales are going to be something we look back on, just like Strixhaven. As time goes on, we continue to look back fondly on Strixhaven. And Strixhaven saw, I mean, let's remember, Strixhaven saw an insane price increase for a second there. Strixhaven, School of Mages, Magic the Gathering sets. This set saw a really big price spike, and the boxes are still sitting at a pretty decent price as far as when you look at how long ago it was in collector boxes. So, let's see. Let's check. You know what? Let's go into the archives. Let's go in to the mystical archives. Let's take a path, or take a trip down the archives and see what we got. Suze, why haven't they made a better anime vision of Red? She's the main villain. I think they're keeping the anime thing in their back pocket to use in what they deem as a special series and things like that. I actually think the series. Let's talk about Mystic. Let's talk about Mystic Archives, and then I have a take on what these little subsets, what they do best for Magic the Gathering, at least in my opinion. So things like this Time Warp have always, like, this subset of cards is beautiful. These are gorgeous looking cards. I love the way that the Japanese art cards really, like, all of the art seems to really contrast itself well. The Teferi's protection is, like, incredible. Like, look at this counterspell. This counterspell is, like, it's a wonderful card to cast. I have been a little bit put off by any foreign language cards at the table, because as I would ebb and flow out of Magic in my past, I didn't know what they did, and that made me feel insecure. I was a jerk earlier. I'll be vulnerable now. It made me feel a bit insecure. I'll be completely honest with you. And I felt like I had to keep, like, a spreadsheet next to me, or have my phone on me so I could constantly look up what the cards did. And I wasn't a major fan of things like that. This Mind's Desire getting unbanned probably saw this card get a little bit of a boost. Unbanned in Legacy Mind's Desire. The Lightning Bolt is just, like, I know it's $11, but, like, this is one of the better Lightning Bolts to have in the collection, right? Like, this is one of the better ones. My favorite one, I mean, the OG Lightning Bolt's great, obviously, but I have the Player Reward Series. As you guys know, I'm collecting every card from the Player Reward Series. I'm collecting 4 copies of it, and I have 4 copies of the foil Lightning Bolt from that, and that's a pretty cool one. But, you know, these cards are holding up an okay amount of value for the top end, the really popular ones. Now, the part that's hard to see here is there's only, you know, there's not as many copies of these cards. A lot of these are reprints. Up here you got Natural Order twice, you got Dark Ritual twice, because there's the etched foil versus the regular foil, the Natural Orders and stuff. So while these things are holding value, there's still only a couple of them that are valuable. But when it comes to Mystic Archives, Brothers War artifacts, subsets like that, I think this is the best way to give Commander players incentive to buy Standard product. Making Standard product about Standard again. Removing, you take it away, throw it in the trash, the Commander subset that you find in all of these products, and then continue to print series like the Mystic Archives, the Brothers War artifacts, the Enchanting Tales, because stuff like this brings Commander players back around, it sells the product, and it lets us maintain the direction of the product itself. So when a set is made for Standard, it can be made to impact Standard, Pioneer, maybe a little bit of Modern, and it doesn't have to have Commander in mind when it's designed, printed, or sold. Or maybe not sold because of the subset. Yeah, designed and printed at least. So I really think that would be a major win. I also think it would give Commander players a bit of freedom. Right now, when a set comes out and there's a Commander subset and you want to play with some of those cards, you are like, the Commander cards are just like shoved into your hands and say like, you play these Commander cards, you must. Look, they say they have a Commander logo on them. And this way it lets Commander players explore the cards from the Standard sets like we used to do, right? You would see cards in Standard sets and you'd be like, oh, I want to add that to my Commander deck, and that would be an exciting time. You wouldn't just have new white powerful creatures or enchantments or the newest blue spell that just controls the entire board just shoved down your throat and be like, hey, you're playing blue, you must play this. It lets it be more of a brewer's world again, and really lets players dig in through sets. And as players start to dig in through sets, I think they find that they become more attached to those sets. When you're just like splattered cards at you, like, hey, you have to play all these, it's a subset of 65 or 63 cards, we're not really incentivized to like look through the set and find the gem and dig through all the stuff and find something that really, excites us or gets our Commander brewing mind going. But when we have to kind of read the cards and get a little bit of familiarity, we become attached to the set, attached to the product. And in my opinion, like, this is just a win across the board. So I really think that the subset design is the perfect way to get cards in the hand of Commander players when it comes to Standard releases. Now, that's going to come at a bit of a cost, right? The idea that you're going to print all these cards and they're going to have to be playable in limited, right? Maybe you ruin some draft experiences. So, design might get a little bit harder, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a good move. Susie hates that card like buying singles. Why are we bringing up Old Wound, Susie? I do not hate buying singles. Ristic study says Thomas. Agreed, anime art feels strange, says Josh. This is old chat, but I had to catch up with it because did someone clip the honk? Thomas, I don't know why you're here trying to start fires, but you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Ariat showcase art looks hilarious. Let's find it. Let's hold on. Let's look. I'm gonna try to find this. All right, let's find it. Let's go. Here we're looking. Where's the showcase art? Is that? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Here, hold on. Let's get a little bit better view. Let's pull up the art card. That is a little bit funny. Nick, good morning. Happy Friday. Sorry, dude. Don't be sorry, Nick, channel member. We mentioned you at the beginning of the stream. You are one of the sponsors of this stream as being the most recent person to join the channel membership. I hope you have had fun, checked out a lot of the exclusive content. And if you guys want to join the channel membership like Nick, I have the pinned comment. I think it's a great way to help support the channel, buy a new camera and a new streaming setup and all that stuff. And also, I want to give back to people who go above and beyond. So you guys do get some exclusive content, some emotes, some channel badges. And I try to make sure I respond to each and every one of your comments on every single video because I appreciate the support. So Nick, shout out, welcome. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. That membership community is growing quick. We have a goal. We try to get 3 every single week, and we are doing well. We are crushing goals on this channel. So I appreciate you guys. But yeah, this art right here, man, that is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. CM, one of my new favorite cards from the set is Asinine Antics, so much fun to turn everything to a 1/1. Always makes the table groan. Oh, hold on. I have something for you. Always makes the table groan but doesn't kill anything. Can I interest you? Can I interest you in casting Pyroclasm? This card is so out of the meta, you might not know what it does. So let's pull up a real one. Deals 2 damage to each creature. Like, hey, you know, turn everything into a 1/1. Pyroclasm. Yeah, I know there's better effects, but this is old school and it makes me smile. The idea of casting Pyroclasm is just, it gets me going. It gets me going, I will admit. MTG Captain, I have terrible wall fatigue. I'm sorry I'm not purchasing any of these cards and new sets coming out. We talked about that, MTG Captain. Yeah, I could totally see where you're coming from. Seuss, do you think they should divide sets furthermore, sets only for Commander Standard? I would like to see that. I think the community is large enough. I would like to see that, but I think they need to do some work on supporting more than just Commander for some time before they can make that move. And ban the cards in the other formats. Like, well, I mean, they kind of already, what is it? It's not Legacy, but is it not Vintage? Maybe it's Legacy. There's a format where like everything that's printed is legal and you get like Initiative and the Jumpstart stuff and the Commander stuff, and like I'm not a fan of that. You cannot balance 30 years of card design against one another. That just can't happen. But I will say the old sets that sit on my LGS shelf collecting dust on a discount, that's a price I'm willing to pay. Let's go. CM loves it. Gonna put it in the Is It deck. Let's go. Hey, the more Pyroclasms we can get cast as a result of this stream is... there's no bigger win. Oh, let me interest you in a deck list. Now, I know. I just hang around. We're going to end the stream like normal. And I know anytime I talk about gameplay, deck lists, casting Magic cards, people are like, no, I'm out. Just hang through this one with me. Trust me, it's going to be super exciting. Hold on. Oh, where is it? I think this is it. Let's go. We are going to talk about one of my favorite decks of all time. And Pyroclasm made me think of this deck. And oh my gosh, you guys are getting some... You guys are getting some spice. Yes, Nick, yes they did. Yeah, when we spoiled Wilds of Eldraine and made a video, we talked about that. And I think that might be a good move. Nick said they gave away or got rid of Jumpstart with every set. I believe that's official. But before we go any further, it's time to talk about Blue-Red Magnivore. Blue-Red Vor is maybe the coolest deck in the entire world. It revolves around the creature Magnivore. Haste, XX creature. Magnivore's power and toughness is equal to the number of sorcery cards in all graveyards. What a trash creature, you say. Why would anybody cast this spell? Well. We have 4 copies of Preordained. Scry 2, draw a card. Hey, guess what? Just unpanned in Modern. Pretty good sorcery. 4 copies of Eye of Nowhere. Turn 2, bounce your permanent. Hold on. Permanent? Your land? If I go first, I bounce your turn 1 land drop? Yes, sir. Oh, if I go first, do I follow up with turn 3 Stone Rain? Oh, is this also a sorcery? So now it's my turn 3 and you don't have a land? What? Is this followed up Molten Rain? This deck also played turn 4 Demolish in some. You play Compulsive Research to refill the hand. You play one of my favorite cards, Tidings, which is just sorcery, draw 3 cards. You play Wildfire, deals 4 damage to everything. Each player stacks 4 lands. All you do is out tempo. You even play 4 boomerangs to bounce more lands and more permanents. And then, turn 4, you go, all right, 5/5, face, go. This deck is so goated. This was my favorite standard deck of all time. I loved playing a deck like this in standard. It was legal in, what is it? For those familiar with the deck, it was Champions of Ravnica era. So turn 1, mana draw spell. So sleight of hand, preordained, something that the deck played sleight of hand at the time. Turn 2, bounce opponent's land with Eye of Nowhere or Boomerang. Turn 3, kill it with Stone Land. Turn 4, this is the Demolish. Turn 5, restock hand with Tidings. Turn 6, cast Wildfire. Do work. This deck was so much fun, and this was a golden era of Magic the Gathering. Seuss, I don't know how much the deck cannot. There's not an expensive card in the, I mean, if you're playing it modern style, like what's being suggested here, I mean, you got your mana base, which is going to be expensive, but like the rest of this deck is what, free? Like, I think people are giving these cards away. Like, I don't know. I love decks like this, but thank you so much. This has been, gosh, what a great Wilds of Eldraine release day stream. I got to go over a deck that I just miss playing. It is coming around on 9 o'clock. That means I'm going to have to go to work. But before we do, let's kick off and let's go to Kitchen Table TCG. And it is time. We have to watch the intro of May the Zoo Be With You. This is where we get together and I get to find out what Louis used for the intro. And did he make me look bad? We get to do this together as a chat right now. I will put a link to this video in the comment section as I am pulling this up here. But remember, if you want to support further, if you want access to custom or exclusive content, click the channel membership logo. Consider joining the channel memberships. It helps support the channel, and I appreciate all of the people. We are crushing our 3 per week goal. So those that keep joining the channel memberships, I am glad you are enjoying it. I'm glad it's become such an amazing community. Thank you so much. And it is time. Let's pop this over. Ralph, channel member, let's go. The Lord of the Ring Part 2 coming in November has Jumpstart, but may have been printed already before saying it would stop. So that's going to be a special case. They're not discontinuing Jumpstart, they're discontinuing the Jumpstart with every set, in my opinion. Sue says bye. MTG Cap says, go to work. I'm going to work. Let's check out the intro. Let's pull over. Up. You know what we need to do for this part? We have to find wherever I put the stream music. Turn that down. Turn this up. Let's recenter this. Let's find out what Louis did to make me look bad in the intro this week. Uh-oh. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's check this bad boy out. I gotta have a word with, if everyone else
Lorcana
can know their demand and Ravensburger's got no freaking clue, I gotta have a word with Ravensburger.
So,
dang.
all right.
Dang, me dunking on Ravensburger is the intro?
You said you didn't need to know.
Yeah.
Me dunking on Ravensburger is the intro. That, oh, did not see that one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. Listen, my chances of being a Lorcana content creator just went into the tank. Thank you guys so much. It has been an absolute blast. Decapit Gang, Seuss, bye. Nick, goodbye. Ralph and Nick, thank you for hanging out with the stream this morning. Thank you for the support. Rob, enjoy your weekend. Thank you for always being around the stream, Rob. And to each and every one of you that I haven't gotten to, I hope you have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your Friday Night Magic and spend some time with those close to you this weekend and just like literally step away and enjoy yourself. This is a wild life. I just appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.